Hello, hello. We are back with episode 2 of the Timberborn livestream series. This is a last-minute streaming decision. We'll wait until we get at least a couple people in the chat. If you have found your way to this live stream, go ahead and leave a comment below. That way I know that you guys are watching. We just started, so we're going to let some of the other members trickle in. We're in a good spot. Looks like we have a good amount of food. Water's doing all right, 187. We'll soon be filling up some of this water. This might be a little bit of an awkward time. We have the East Coasters of the US. It's in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock. And then it's lunchtime on the West Coast. And then I think in Europe, it's like 5 hours ahead. So probably 8-ish. So we have another viewer who's joined the stream. Welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started. A little bit of a recap of the last episode. We made all this. We have some water pumpers. We expanded our food collection. Also have some berries over here. Some of the essentials, we're starting to expand our production facilities. We have a builder's hut. We have some houses. We have a good amount of trees that we're growing. We also have some trees over here. This is currently paused since they're not doing anything at the moment. Looks like we have 7 vacant jobs and then 4 unoccupied beds. We will be expanding our housing at some point. But for now, making sure we have enough food and water, very important. And then I think we should have enough water pumpers. I think we have 6 right now. Then hopefully they can start filling this up. We are on day 6 of cycle 3. So we've made it through 2 droughts so far. Haven't had any problems yet. And then we did expand our crops. We now have a bunch of food up here. We're running a little bit low with just these crops. Looks like we have another viewer who's joined. Welcome, welcome. We recently hit 2,000 subscribers on this channel, so I just wanted to celebrate and have a bit of an impromptu live stream. It's not necessarily the most convenient time of day, but I wanted to try and do this while I had some free time. We have these guys over here. They are getting some planks produced. Also have a gear workshop that is currently paused since we are running a little bit low on some beavers. Then we do have this forester paused. Really, it was just to get some of the blueberries planted since we need those for the breeding pods. We do only have 2 builders over here. Oh yeah, we do have these scavenger flags up and running. We'll drop this down in priority. And then I guess we'll leave this one for now. We probably don't need the additional builders at the moment. Try and make sure we have a good balance between workers and beavers. We're going to fast forward just a little bit. Not a whole lot going on. I don't know if we really changed how much water we have. I need to keep an eye on that. Food we're doing all right. Looks like we are maxed out on kohlrabi stored. Need to figure out a storage solution. Hello, welcome, welcome. We're on day 7 of cycle 3. Bit of an impromptu live stream to celebrate hitting 2,000 subscribers. And we're trying to survive the droughts. We have made it through 2 so far. In the previous episode, gonna try and drought proof our colony in today's episode, get some more water storage, make sure we have enough water pumpers. We have some beavers sitting around because we're maxed out on kohlrabi. Means we probably need to focus on storage, and that is probably a good big picture item to address in today's episode. Trying to find out where a good spot to add in the storage would be. Somewhere over here is not a bad idea because it's kind of close to some of the food. It's not very close to the production area though. Could do it up here near the bad water since we can't really do any crops over here. In fact, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now. It's a little out of the way for some stuff, but it's closer for others. We'll probably need to remove some of these trees though, which means adding in some stairs and then making sure we have a lumberjack flag close enough. And I also want to make sure we can expand our production over in this direction. So I think that we're going to have the stairs go up right here. Thankfully we only need 1 platform and the rest can be stairs over here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here a while, then welcome back. But in today's episode, also getting scrap metal is going to be something I want to focus on. And then hopefully replace this power wheel with an engine. We're doing not great on science. Looks like we have about 200. We have 2 beavers working here. But we don't have any storage for scrap metal. So I need to make sure that I get that up and running. So we can start by getting some piles placed down. We could go here and here. That's not a bad idea. Start with 1. It'd be nice to get a large warehouse for the kohlrabi. 250 science. We are getting close. Not quite there yet though. Wow, they made that immediately. We can select that for, not metal blocks, for scrap metal. We should probably focus on getting some more beavers. Looks like water is going up quite a bit, which is good. This is a good spot to get some water storage. We should probably get another water storage set up. Maybe a little bit closer though. In fact, what I'm going to do is put some platforms over here and start getting some storage on top of the water. We do have some planks. So we can start doing that. This can also serve as a bridge getting across. But we can lower the priority of all of this. And then we'll remove both of these, place the water storage right here. And then this will be the bridge. Have some beavers sitting around, but that's probably because we are maxed out on wood over here. We should try and build in the 3rd dimension to get some more wood storage. What is the best way to do that? Looks like we have a couple new viewers. Welcome to the stream. We just hit 2,000 subscribers today, so I wanted to do a celebratory live stream. Which way should we go? We could go over here. How do we get up there? This is another option, but once again, we need to build up, but not cut this path off. Could remove some of these and then just keep going vertical. It's not a bad idea. That's what I'm gonna have us do for now. And then we can remove these 3. Make sure we have a path here. Have this set to wood. And then, okay, it looks like they are starting to remove this. We have some scrap metal over here. This guy is done. We can... Oh, we never finished a stair over here. We can do this and then connect everything in. But we can pause this guy for now. We do have some of the wood cleared over here, but we still have a few more on the hill. Then we can add some more storage. stick with the piles for now. And then we are short on planks. We have a decent amount of wood. I would like to get a large warehouse set up. So we're going to unlock that. 250 science. And then let's do this. We'll have one right here. Have that set to kohlrabi. And then we can, I guess we want to switch this one to fermented cassavas. Let's do that. And then we'll have this one fill up with kohlrabi. Looks like we have 4 workers in the lumber mills. This guy's working. Let's bump that up. And then same for one of these and one of these. Make sure we always have some of them working there. You're doing good on water. We are almost maxed out. Let's see, we're short on gears. We're doing pretty good on food. This guy's sitting around. We can pause him. Throw someone else in this gear workshop. So we have 6 workers in the lumber mills and then 2 in the gear workshops now. And looks like we can add in the platform and stairs. So we're a little bit short on some of the resources right now. Gears, planks, we're doing okay, but not a whole lot. We have started collecting pine resin. We don't necessarily need this guy working right now. We do want to have some pine resin stored up, if possible, since we do need to make sure we get pine resin for the bad tide when that inevitably arrives. We have paused this fermenter. We don't really need it quite yet. We have one that is working. And we are short on planks. Logs we have a good amount. We have 4 workers. They're working their tails off. And then do we have medical beds yet? We have them unlocked. I thought I placed them down. Maybe it was something else. Yeah, I'm not seeing medical beds so far. Need to make sure we have some of those. Oh, here they are. We have 2 of them. Looks like one of them is always being used. This one is sometimes used. That's okay. We can have this set to logs. Store up as much as we can. We have plenty of wood over here, which is good news. These guys, we have our lowest priority jobs, but at least one of them is working. Oh, do we not have... none of this is set to be chopped down. Now this guy should do some work. Looks like this guy's sitting around, so we're maxed out on water. This is almost done. We just need one more gear, then we can start filling it up again. We have lots of berries over here. We are maxed out on berries, so that's good news. And then we are making our way to fill up this, or to construct this large warehouse. About halfway on logs, almost halfway on planks. We have a good amount of planks and wood. So we should be able to construct that hopefully fairly quickly. I think we're just limited by the workers at the moment. In terms of jobs, we only have one vacant job. We have several buildings paused. So we can always start unpausing stuff. In fact, we'll start that with this builder's hut. And then we do need to make sure we have some more storage. I'm going to try and do it in 3D. We could do some warehouses on the backside here. Or should we move this back? Because going... Oh, we have a drought approaching in 3 days. I think I'm going to move these. This is currently empty. We'll do that, and then we can do this as well. We can move this here and here. And then if we want to go 3D, we can start doing some stairs up. Make sure we set these to the appropriate units for being stored. Looks like we have about a dozen logs and a couple dozen planks left. We can get a platform placed down. Now, should I do another warehouse or should I do a pile? Because in the piles, we can look here. We can store dirt. We don't need that yet. Metal blocks, we aren't even working on that. Same with 3D planks. So it's really just planks, scrap metal, and wood. But we don't have that much plank storage. So I'm thinking we should do another pile over here. And then we can have this one set to planks. And then we can keep going up, but we don't necessarily need to quite yet. We do have some beavers who are homeless, which means we should probably focus on getting some more sleeping quarters for them. Now, where do I want to do that exactly? Can't fit one over here because we need to remove these. I do think that I was going to have some of this be temporary. So we could always just remove this and add in some platforms. In fact, I like that idea. So set those to be removed. Get a path placed down. We'll place a house on top of here. We can't really do that right here. Could we shift this? I think we could. Shift it so it goes underneath and then up to this little gap. The beavers are not going to like it because I'll remove access to these two houses if we do remove this. We'll do that when we make sure we have enough planks stored up. Then we'll do that. But for now, we can add in this other house. So we'll leave this as is for a little bit. We have the kohlrabi warehouse that is complete. It's starting to fill up, 130 kohlrabi. Hopefully we can empty this one. Looks like it is emptied. Fermented cassavas will now go in there. 1.3 days until the drought arrives. We're doing good on water. This is almost filled up. We'll see how much water we have if we pause all these guys during the drought. Won't be too long of a drought. And so we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Just 1 day left. We have some unemployed beavers. We do not want that. And we're actually starting to run a little bit low on food, so we can bump that up to 2. We can bump this one back up to 2. And then let's set that to lowest priority and unpause it. Or we can do this one to normal. And set one of these ones. We'll set this guy to lowest. Kind of spread it out a little bit. Start working on chopping some of these trees down. Also unpause this guy for a little bit. Have him replant some of those trees. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Timberborn live stream. We can get some more storage set up. This is not super essential since we have a decent amount of water stored up, but might as well have them work on that when they can. We'll have that set to lower on the priority list. Not super essential. We do have our three piles now, starting to fill up some planks in here, but we still are running pretty low on planks overall. Salva Alcazar, is that how you pronounce it? Welcome to the stream. We have some trees over here. Some of these ones are starting to get some pine resin. We have a lot of low priority jobs, so I think we can turn this on, start collecting some of that pine resin. Need to make sure we can actually store it somewhere though. Where are you tuning in from, Alcazar? We could fit a warehouse here, or we could do a bigger one, and then maybe do a warehouse over here. But before we do that, the drought has started 4 days long. Let's pause these. We have 600 water. So we'll see how long that lasts, see if we need to unpause any of these. If we do, then we'll need to make sure we focus on more water storage during this next wet season. And now we have 2 unemployed beavers since we paused all these jobs. Oh, and these guys aren't doing anything either. Let's pause both of those. So now we have a lot of unemployed beavers. We can add a couple more to this. Let's see, we can start collecting some berries. This guy isn't really doing anything, so we won't unpause that. We can unpause this. We have some scrap metal. We can always get some more, I guess. We'll have that. So they'll construct this. This will be a low priority for the workplace. Oh, we need to mark these trees to be chopped down. And then we can do the same all the way over here. Looks like we're not building anything at the moment. We should probably focus on some science. We have 600 right now, which is not bad. We can always get some more though. From Spain. What time is it in Spain? I think it's like 4 or 5 hours ahead of East Coast. It's currently 3:30 where I'm from. We could add a platform and then leave that. Then we could add another inventor set over here. And then we are perfectly balanced at the moment. Looks like we did finish this house. We have 15 planks, so tomorrow, or I guess today now, I'll add this in, and then I'll replace these two with the singular platform. And they're not going to like that, which we knew, of course. And then we'll just bump these up, but they should get those done pretty quickly. And then we can add one over here, and we'll have space for another house. And then we can also place something right here, and get something with well-being, like a scratcher. Yeah, we'll do that. 100 science, drop in the bucket. Well, not exactly. It was a good chunk of our science, but it's okay. So he's not working on anything. What can we do? In order to get the engine, 400 science, decent amount of gears. Oh, we need to get a smelter up and running first. We can get one placed down right here. And then maybe we should get another gear workshop. Might not be a bad idea. So we should be able to finish that. It shouldn't take too long. And then we can get another gear workshop. Place that right here. These guys are definitely not producing enough power. Eventually I will need to redirect this a little bit. I don't need to go like that. I can just go up and over. Am I actually saving any space by doing that? Or is it just going up and down? I think I might just do that. We'll do this. We can remove these three. And then we'll have a power shaft over here, platform on top, and then stairs on the side. And then once this is connected, we can remove this, and we'll have some more space for buildings. Getting some more power would be nice, since we are currently producing almost enough, but that's going to end pretty shortly. And this guy's not doing anything. He doesn't have the materials. Let's switch these. Focus on cassavas. And then this guy can keep doing what he's doing. We have 350 water after 2.5 days. So we're actually doing all right. Hello, we have some more people who joined the stream. Welcome. Just hit 2,000 subscribers on the channel today. Decided to have an impromptu stream. A little bit of a weird time of day in terms of where I'm from on the East Coast, but this is when I had the time for it, so I wanted to make sure I could do it. Looks like we have some unemployed beavers. But I want to start getting some haulers. Hauling post, 20 wood, 10 planks. We do not have any planks at the moment, but we can get that done soon. Add this right here, high prioritize it, bump it up to 6, and then we can leave this at normal because we have a bunch of jobs around here that are already low priority. So they'll start pulling from some of the miscellaneous scavenger flags and lumberjack flags around the colony. How many of you guys watching were able to watch the first live stream? This is only the second one, so I'm trying to see how many people are going to be able to see all of these. I will try streaming at different times. Ideally, it would be during the weekend, but I'm going to be busy some of these upcoming weekends until I move into my new house. And then after that, I'm hoping to get onto a good streaming schedule. This is almost done, just a few more planks and gears. And then we'll be able to start using this smelter. And then this gear workshop just requires some planks. We are desperately low on planks. We have some haulers, so now we can prioritize these guys. This guy's sitting around. We'll reduce that by 2. That's still not enough. There's still some people sitting around. We are ending the drought. Looks like we have less than a day left. And that'll be good because I'll have some power coming through here. Water's starting to run a little low. Our beaver population is still increasing. We have no free beds. I'll need to add in some more housing. So I can do that right now. And then we will need to make even more because this is quickly filling up. I think I was going to just keep going backwards, but maybe I could do some housing over here. It's not a bad spot. Just need to build up a little bit. Not exactly ideal. And the drought has ended. Let's start unpausing some of these jobs. I'll start pausing some of these other ones as well. And it should just start pulling from some of these jobs that I've lowered on the priority list. We have a good amount of wood, which is excellent. Now we have some more water storage. I'm going to set up even more, but lower on the priority list. This is all super low. And then we'll do the same for one more of these. Make sure it's set to water with the handy tab feature. And then I'll get a third one placed here at some point. But then when we have a good amount of resources, we can replace these 3 with 2 large ones. And we'll just need to expand the platforms backwards a little bit. They are almost done with this, which is perfect timing. Because we have no free beds. And it looks like they filled them up pretty quickly. And now this is all running not very well. We're at like half capacity in terms of the power. But we can do this. Remove that. Now should I do... What should I do? I could do some more buildings over here, but there's not enough power for them. So I could do power production over here. But it doesn't fit super well. I think we might need to do power production. Not ideal. So we could extend this and then do an engine right here. I think that makes sense. Engine costs 400 science. We have enough. We do not have that many gears or metal blocks. So it's going to take a little while for them to get all of that. We can place that down. Make sure we have that. Oh, not that. Had that connected in. And then the haulers will be able to feed this once they construct it. We can bump that up. This is... Yeah. We're producing about half the power that we need. This guy uses a decent amount of power. This uses a lot. We could pause one of these for now, but it doesn't use that much power, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Hello, Carmo. I do not know my flags very well. I'm seeing 2 different flags, though. We have 8 vacant jobs. Starting to get some injured beavers. We'll add another medical bed. Lower it just a little bit. We're doing pretty good on wood. 400 out of 540. This guy probably has to walk a long ways to move the wood over. We have some extra space, so we'll make some storage over here. I don't love having those little 2x2 paths, but that is totally fine. Actually, we don't even need this. We can remove this and remove this path. Still have 4 more slots in the hauling post. Wow. We have 9 vacant jobs, 11 vacant beds. I think it's time that we add another breeding pod and then also start looking at their well-being a little bit. We can add one right here. It's just logs, so we can bump that up. But then we do need to get some fun stuff for them as well. The rooftop terraces are easy. We just need to pair it with something like maybe some storage. How do you want to do this? That here. And then would like to put this right here, but then and have rooftop terraces on both of these. But then we would not be able to have the path work out. At the very least, we can toss one of these on here. Stairs going up for sure. We can have this set to pine resin since we are maxed out on that. And then work on this. Stairs, platform. Feels like a bit of wasted space over here. We could... Well, no, we can't remove this one. I mean, we could, but I just want to add a third over here, but I don't think we could fit it exactly. But at least we'll get one of the rooftop terraces set up. Maybe we should get some more of these fireplaces. Can't fit one over here. This would have been a good spot. We'll get 2 more placed right here. We have some room for decorations or other well-being items. Maybe we get a scratcher or 2. Looks like we have a good amount of planks. We are just waiting on metal blocks now. We'll pause one of these gear workshops just to get a little bit more power to the smelter. Looks like we have a few viewers in this stream. How long have you guys been following the channel? I'm curious. I had a lot of people join beginning of 2023 when I did my first mega build. I think I had between 600 and 800 subscribers who joined within a month or two. And that was probably in like January and February of 23. But then that means the other 12 to 1400 people joined after that. Still running low on power, but we're almost there. Just gotta get these metal blocks. You can prioritize these by haulers. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Doing good on planks. Scrap metal's okay. Logs over here. Not filling up, but that's super far away. So, that is totally fine. We have to actually set this to logs though. Otherwise that is useless. These guys are working. We're getting enough water, or enough power. Food, not doing great, honestly. Should bump that up. So, I mean, this is kind of maxed out since we're picking all the crops. We can remove these berries since we have a lot more over here now. Yeah, and they're not even touching these berries. Then we can put some cassavas down here. I'll unplant. It's in trees, but that's fine. Unplant these. We'll maybe even extend that back a little bit. And then we'll have kohlrabi extend over here. Cassavas will be down here. Okay, we are 2 metal blocks away. As soon as we get that, have a lot more power in this system. And we might be able to even reduce some of this because this produces 400 power. They produce, what was it, like 320? So we might be able to reduce it by 1. We'll see. Start planting some cassavas over here. Fill the kohlrabi in right here. Oh, we're so close. This guy, it'll just take a few more hours and he'll be ready. We'll need to start storing metal blocks also. We'll add this and this. If I can place it down. Get some storage, another pile. And they'll work on that when they can. Make sure we have this set to metal blocks. And then we're making good progress, getting some more scrap metal. Then we can also continue planting. Looks like I missed a few of these berries. We can just remove all of these, honestly. Still have 7 jobs that are vacant, and then also 7 unoccupied beds. Oh, there we go. Using all the power we need. Let's unpause this. And now we have excess power. So if we reduce that, that's basically 100% power. So we can leave that. That is totally fine. Should probably focus on getting their well-being up because their working speed at tier 10, we get a 20% boost. We are almost there. This guy's at 9. So let's focus on some of their well-being now. And we could do some showers. That's not too bad. somewhere that's convenient. This looks pretty good. 50 science, we have enough. We'll add in 4 of those right here. Or we could do a swimming pool. 250 science. We're going to hold off on the swimming pool because this area will eventually get contaminated. Might make sense to have a swimming pool over here. What else could we do? We get some more campfires. Rooftop terraces are probably a good idea. Or we could get some more medical beds, since we have some injured beavers that are running around. In terms of water, we're doing pretty good. It's day 7. Back to almost 700. And hopefully should just keep going up from there. Food, we're not doing amazing. We have a lot of planks. Let's save some of the space over here, some of the green space. Add in, where is it? Add in another farmhouse. I would like to get a hydroponic garden because we can, where is it? In the fermenter, we can turn 4 mushrooms into 16 fermented mushrooms versus if we use algae, I think we have to use the food processor or the food factory. That's a little bit more involved. Hello, Jason. The name of this one, I think it's something Canyon. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, we did name this colony Chiptooth Valley. You guys came up with that name, or a version of that name in the first episode. I like it, Chiptooth Valley. Starting to build up some resources. Water is going up. Wood's hovering around the same, which is fine. We have plenty of spare wood over here. We are building up our production capacity. We need to get some pine resin and treated planks. That is 800 science. That's a lot. Takes a lot just to make one treated plank. Man, in the Haunted Hollow series, I tried to lay down a lot of irrigation barriers along the side. But that was pretty involved. And then I ended up not really using that. What we can also do is divert the water above, but that means we need to get dynamite and then just keep having it go above until we get over here, which that would be quite a process, but it might be the one that we need to do. So I'm leaning towards that. What do you guys think? In my eyes, there's really 2 options. We can go above, right up here, dig out a little trench, not too deep, probably just 1 deep and 3 or 4 tiles wide along here, all up above, and then have the bad water get spit out over here. That would also mean I would dam this up and then probably have some sort of sluice system over here that closes when there's bad water, and then divert it over here. And then the other option is what I was originally thinking of, which is getting a bunch of irrigation barriers along this coastline, basically to prevent the bad water from infecting everything over here. Both of those are going to be a lot, but I'm kind of leaning towards that first one, which I think in the last episode I was not a huge fan of that, but now I'm thinking about it, I think that is probably the preferred method. I missed one blueberry bush. Up and over the side would be easiest bad water diversion. Oh, you mean like build something just around here and then remove part of this or this and just spit it backwards? Kind of what I'm assuming you mean by that. But yeah, that would be easier. It does feel a little bit like cheating, but then again, that is how the game works, so work smarter, not harder, right? If you want to use the bad water, then a channel along that non-irrigated side would work. That is true. Being able to actually capture some of the bad water. Plus I could get some of these power wheels, the water wheel set up. Utilize the power of the bad water and then also get the bad water pumps. We need to remove some of these trees, but that's never an issue. What I am thinking though, there's going to be a lot of resources involved. Seems daunting, but the map doesn't really give you good options for the main source of diversion. Yeah, I agree. Not really. Like, I mean, it's a valley, so it makes sense that there's really only two ends you can go. It's either in the very beginning or somewhere near the end. So we'll need a lot of workers because we'll need to get a lot of science. And so big picture, if I want to double the amount of breeding pods, then our resource needs go up a lot. So we'll need to have a lot of water pumpers, a lot of water storage, a lot of food and trees. We're doing good on wood right now. But what I should do is unpause this guy and just think ahead a little bit. Know that we're going to need a lot more trees. So have him plant even more over here. I don't know if he quite reaches all this. He almost does. We can remove this. And then have him go all the way over here. And then he can go in this direction. We'll not have that, because we might want to connect this in. And so we are not doing like fantastic on food, but if I want to increase how many beavers I have, I need to make sure I have plenty of food. Need to add in that one cassava. We have berries. That's kind of a backup. We don't want that to be the main food source. Why is he sitting around? Oh my gosh, we're maxed out on planks. Oh my gosh, maxed out on gears. More storage. Those two, and then we'll go across here. Let's add another large warehouse. Does that make sense? We'll have this set to planks. We need some more for gears. We only really need a medium warehouse for gears, I think. We're already going vertical. We are just going to go full send. This is all the gear storage that we're going to need. We can add some more of these platforms, work our way around. And then we have a platform up top to add more either large warehouses, or we can add some small ones. Always add some on the side as well. And we're also going to do this. Remove this right here. Add in 2 single ones. Because I might want to turn around and have one high go backwards. Because if I blast this out, then I could add some medium warehouses right here. And it's not really a problem to just have 2 individual ones. 3 days until the next drought. So, with that in mind, we'll just set this to, I don't know, planks for now. I'm going to switch that. And they're all sitting around. Okay. High prioritize. I guess we can pause these 2 for now. Let's throw some in the builders' huts. Okay, so if I want to get a lot of beavers, we need lots of water and water storage. Oh, should not have done this. Don't want that. We'll add another water storage as soon as they remove these. And then we'll need to add some more water pumpers as well. And a couple more right here. I guess we can set these to high priority. I'm probably going to pause them. And then get some more food. Because if we get a lot of water access, then that opens up the possibility of a hydroponic garden because it uses so much water. And this is way more efficient in terms of space. 200 science. We have plenty of resources. I'm going to start this. In fact, I'm going to start a couple. We'll move this one back. And get another one on top. And this is relatively close to this water source. We'll prioritize this by haulers. We're going through our food pretty quickly. This guy's still sitting around, but we should be almost done with this. Just a few more logs. Here we have plenty of plank storage now. Almost maxed out on pine resin. Doing good on science, 1.1 thousand. A number cruncher would, that'd be nice, but it uses, it's an entire engine plus some for in terms of power. So I am a little bit worried about food. We could do food up here. That's not a bad idea. We'll have this be constructed. We'll have him start working on these. We have a lot to do. If I want to get over here and start clearing everything, also means we need to get dynamite. That's 400 science for this explosives factory. Dynamite is 600 science. Plus this requires bad water. Oh yeah, we'll have access to it over here. That's just one deep. Oh, their well-being went up. We could always just go over here. That's 250 science. We have enough. We do that, and then we can start getting some storage for the bad water. And now we have so many things that we want to build. Hello everyone, looks like we have a few new viewers. 2,000 subscriber live stream special. I know some of you guys have been with the channel for quite a while. Jason, you've been here. I mean, I think you're one of the first subscribers that I remember. Did you show up after the mega build, or at what point did you start tuning into the channel? And set this to mushrooms and then do the same over here. And now we have so many jobs that are unoccupied. So let's start pausing some of the unessential jobs. Oh, one of those is probably these inventor sets. And then we do need to start getting some more of the breeding pods. We're going to add 4 for now. This should get us a lot of beavers pretty quickly. Set this new water storage to water, or the new medium tank to water. We're starting to go up in food a little bit. Don't know why exactly, but that's okay. Probably because we have this. We have... Oh, This guy does not have access to any of these berries. Let's remove all these. Put some stairs up here. And then pause these water clippers. And now we only have 6 vacant jobs. Well, we can change that. Down to 3. We have both of these hydroponic gardens that are working. Hopefully they don't just decimate our water supply. But I think they'll probably be filling it up quite a bit. So we'll need to make sure we can utilize all these guys and then get some more water storage constructed. Bump that up to 2. How do we have unemployed beavers now? A little bit of musical chairs with some of the jobs. And looks like we're done constructing stuff, I guess. Add a couple more to the hauling posts. Overall, we're doing pretty good. 6-day drought. Water was at 1,000. We need to get some more water storage, I think. You have some good pumpers. We'll add a couple more. Make sure that they're paused when they're actually constructed. So no one's sitting around in the district center or the builder's hut now, which is good. Do we need more storage? We're doing good on berries. I don't think anything else other than pine resin is maxed out now, which means we can probably pause this. What the heck? No goods. Oh. We just have all these not marked to be chopped down. So let's switch. Huh, guess we already have jobs at lowest priority. We'll want to get some crops over here. We are going up in food, which is good. We need to have some more production space. So let's do this. Let's get some power. We'll place this right here. Make sure we move this. Not going to place it right there. because I want to get some buildings over here. We'll need to get another smelter, and then I want to get an explosives factory. We'll start with that right here. Then we'll do the explosives factory next to it. And then we can do another smelter next to that. And then I guess we can go from there. I think we're doing good on plank production and then also gears. Seems like we have a good amount for now. We'll need to add more. But for now I think we're in a good spot. Although we are going to have a bunch of unemployed beavers soon. And then we're going to need a lot of metal. What do you guys think? What should I focus on? Big picture, I'm trying to increase the beaver population, get enough food and water to support them, and then start cutting away over here to make a channel that can divert the bad water. I want to know what you guys think. Collecting scrap metal up here. We honestly don't have that much. Let's bump that up. We have some thirsty beavers, but we have water. Oh, I did not want to turn that back on. Guess they finished constructing those. So this extends 15 or 16 tiles from the water center. Right now, this river is irrigating everything over here. I think that I want to put probably one little 3x3 grid here and then another one somewhere over here. That way we are not dependent on the river to irrigate all of this. And then we'll be in a better spot for when the bad tide eventually comes. But I want to get some dynamite to blast that out. At the very least, we can at least remove that from the planting zone. And then what we could do is replace this little spot with a 3x3 grid, place some platforms on top, and then we can put these buildings back on. So that's not a bad idea. This one I think is more essential since there's crops involved. And then we can unmark all of this since it's clearly never going to get planted. And then I also want to get some more crops up here. Another 3x3 grid would be nice. But since we don't have dynamite at the moment and we have a good amount of wood, we can always do this. This would be the 3x3. And they need something to work on anyways. And then we could, if I rearrange this, we could fit 2 sets. Just 2? Could we fit even more? Okay, hold up. I want to fit as many crops or as many farmhouses on here as I can. But I also need to be able to dump the water here as well. So this does fits 3 plus a fluid dump. I don't know if I could add a 4th one given this footprint. Maybe I could, but this is good enough. And that'll give them slightly bigger reach. And then we'll have some more crops over here. Now I probably should start expanding into some other foods. I know canola is always one that I seem to run out of. We'll have that planted all over here. Have some soybeans planted over here as well. And then we'll get corn added to the list. Oh, I just replaced a bunch of soybeans. That is fine. Yeah, we'll have soybeans on one side, corn on the other, and then this guy will work on the trees. I wonder how far this will extend. I think it should cover this whole top area. Beaver's well-being is not fantastic. I think we can work on that a little bit. And we're starting to run a little bit low on beds. I was going to add some houses over here. I think I still want to do that. So we'll get one house right here. I think it's time to start diving into some of the large barracks. We'll get one here, and then we'll have one set behind it. Ooh, we could also get some storage set up over here as well. Look at that. And then we could fit some more stuff over here. Not sure what we need at the moment. Then we could also get on top of here some well-being stuff, specifically these rooftop terraces. And then we do want to think about eventually, maybe sooner rather than later, getting some of these two-way stations set up, because that increases the movement speed by 300%, which is a lot. And the tube-ways, it just costs 2 more planks. I think they reworked what the cost of these were. I think it used to be gears for the vertical tube-ways. If you guys know what it used to be, let me know. Down to 133 water. Start unpausing all these. And then we need to make sure we have enough storage. Should probably add some on the back here. And then again, I did want to upgrade some of these to the larger ones. How are we doing overall? We do not have many gears. We don't have that many planks, relatively speaking. So we might need to leave these and then just add in maybe a large tank somewhere else. Add one right here. $600 science, we have enough. Water really is the highest priority in this game. Have some homeless beavers, but they should be building this soon. $14 vacant jobs. Oh my gosh, so many of these. Pause this. Pause this. No available workers. Oh my goodness. Okay, we gotta do something here. Oh no, no workers. We are having a bit of a worker shortage. Let's keep this higher. Save this one. I think we just need to pause this overall. Yeah, we're just short on workers. We're gonna pause this guy. Doing a little bit better. Well, good thing we added a bunch of these breeding pods. We have 11 children. That's quite a bit. We can bump this up on the priority list. We have enough housing. We can bump that up as well. Because this is just wood, and then this is wooden planks. Soybeans are over here. corn is over here. Doing decent on planks, 71. Okay, I'm going to wrap this stream up here pretty shortly. Just ended cycle 4, so now we're on cycle 5. Things are in a good spot. I think that we're going to have a bad tide probably in 1 or 2 cycles. Hopefully not this one. But if we do, it is going to blow through pretty quickly since they're typically only a day long. It will start to impact some of the crops over here, which is not great, but it will not be the end of the world. We have some crops up here, and now we have even more up here. We have trees that will be impacted, unfortunately, but they're a little bit more resilient. Looks like we got this smelter up and running also. We can't really unpause these until we get some more workers. So we'll leave these as is for now. I would like to replace this with an engine, but we'll do that in the next episode. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, just hit 2,000 subscribers today on the channel, which is fantastic. Last year and a half, been some ups and downs. Haven't posted quite as consistently lately, but once I moved into my new house, then hoping to get back on a better schedule. I do want to do a lot more streaming. I do enjoy interacting with you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoy this as well. So with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next live stream or in the next video. See you everyone.